Davinci Resolve.
Not a great experience.
It's scary. The reason you want Premiere is for all the other stuff.
Maybe people are gonna flame me here, but like,
What kind of non-linear editor should you be using? The three main ones, Davinci Resolve, Premiere Pro, and Final Cut Pro. And we're gonna have some hot takes, and we have 18 different points that we're gonna talk about and see which editor comes out on top.
let's dive into it.
We've used all three programs and have found out that they're all the middle children. We hate them all. Maybe that Davinci might be a little overrated.
A little overhyped.
Let's talk, UI, ease of use,
Okay.
Final Cut Pro.
Just generally the program, very simple to use, quote unquote. And the UI, simple as well.
Like a lot of people probably coming from iMovie or going to Final Cut, which I would definitely recommend if you're using iMovie and you want some more customization. It's nothing crazy, but it's easy to use. So I
Yeah.
would say out of 5, the UI and ease of use is probably like a 4.5. It's pretty easy to use.
Yeah, I think I gave mine like a 3. Maybe I'm being like critical here. Are we also talking about like just jumping into it and being able to use the program?
I think, yeah, that's
Okay,
part
because
of like
I
the ease
feel
of
like
use.
it gets a point deducted just because if you've ever used Final Cut before, you hop in, you have a library and you have events, right? You're like, great, I'm in my library. Let me drop in some media. Can't drop it into the library, brother.
Oh, that
you
is
have to drop it
confusing.
into the
That is
event, right?
confusing.
But there's a screen there when you're in
That's
your
fair,
library.
that's
It's like
fair.
put your media here, and then it's like, oh, you can't do that. You have to hop into your event and then drop. So for me, it gets a point deducted. I'm at like a 3.5.
We'll
three,
split the
two.
difference at we'll split the difference at 4. Premiere, it's old. Looks old,
yeah.
feels old. It's not sexy.
No.
You can customize it, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
UI easy, I would say it's pretty difficult.
It gets points deducted because when you first open it up, you've got like all these different windows, right? Where it's like what is it? Like a library window, like a metadata window, like all these windows that you never use as a beginner.
Oh,
You
for
never,
sure.
absolutely never use. And so I feel like, it gets points deducted because it's in the default workspace. It's giving you these windows that you'll never use.
It's confusing. It's confusing for sure. Probably
So
like
what
a 2?
2, sure.
Two?
I'll get it. 2.
All
Two's
right.
fine.
All
Two's
right.
fine.
Davinci Resolve.
Okay, this is a good one. I feel like Davinci Resolve kind of straddles the line between Final Cut and Premiere.
really does.
Where it's trying to be so easy to use, where it has those tabs at the bottom, where it's like, this is where you like do your selects, and this is actually where you edit,
Yeah.
right? And it's like linear, right? Oh, non-linear. It's linear in the way that it like takes you through like, this is the import. Okay, make your selects, start editing. Maybe hop into Fusion?
No, we're not hopping into Fusion. Easy.
Don't hop into Fusion.
You hop from the cut page to the edit page, and the cut page is scary. Man.
Never use it. Never use it.
Have maybe touched the cut page maybe once. I'd say it's probably maybe 2.5.
Yeah, I give it a 3.
A 3?
I give it a 3. It's a little easier.
2.75.
All right, 2.2.
2.75.
2.27.
Final Cut. It's over, man. It's
I'm sorry.
over. There's nothing you can customize in Final Cut. Also, biggest gripe with Final Cut is in Premiere, in Davinci Resolve, you can make custom labels for your different clips. You
Yeah.
can make them for video, audio. In Final Cut, it's per library. So
Yeah.
it's per project. So it's like, okay, if I want my music to be orange and my sound effects to be yellow, I have to set that every time I'm in a new project. Pisses me off.
Yeah,
Do not enjoy it.
Not great. Customizability, it lacks. And again, it's suffering from customizability to try to be easier to use. I think that's obviously the trade-off they're doing there.
For sure.
And, it's successful in some spots and unsuccessful in others. So there you have it. What are we giving it? 2?
Yeah, probably a 2.
2?
It's not much.
It's bad. Yeah. Premiere, brother. Premiere customizability. Tell us
tickles.
about your Premiere setup here.
You're talking to the Premiere MD. A Premiere aficionado. I know, I'm a Premiere fanboy. Roast me, DaVinci people. Roast me. But I use them all. I hate them all equally. But the customizability in Premiere is probably S tier. It's phenomenal. It's like, okay, I want my footage in. I could have 11 monitors and use them for like every single thing.
Every
and I feel like
bin.
some people say that's like a con about Premiere, that there's too many windows. But if you understand the windows and know where they all go, there's a place for them. They can live. And I've recustomized my Premiere window like 7 times, and I just keep optimizing it.
There you
I'm
go.
getting better every
you
single
go.
day. And you can customize the freaking UI. You can change
The
little
highlighted
highlight color.
lines.
It's nothing crazy, but I changed it.
It's the little things. It's the little things.
Oh, I open it and people are like, whoa. Do you have some like pirated version of Premiere? My wallet wishes I did.
Does it is it too customizable?
No.
Does that give you a minus point? No,
disagree.
it doesn't give you a minus
I
point.
disagree.
It's a 5.
I think it's a 5.
It's a
You
straight
can't
5.
argue that. You can make it as dumbed down as you want.
Yeah, true.
Or you can make it as
true.
customizable as you want.
Davinci. Okay, I was thinking about this because you have those tabs at the bottom. The thing that's nice about Premiere, right? There's so much customizability because you can undock those windows and put them wherever you want. But DaVinci, I don't think you can do that, right?
No.
Does it have that same thing with Final Cut where Final Cut has like the toggle and
toggle
it like gives you different settings?
So it's like, if you want to see the media browser, so you have that left-hand screen, you can toggle it on or off, which is nice because you can clean up your window really quickly, but you can't move stuff anywhere.
Can you do multi-monitors with? I don't think I've dragged stuff. Can you do that?
Maybe you can. Okay. You guys might have to tell us.
I would say though, when you go to Final Cut, we get Final Cut 2. Yes. And you say, oh my gosh, every time you go in a library, you have to redo the labels and stuff like that. Yeah. DaVinci, you've got folders.
I guess you have like power bins and power grades. And so there's like some customizability that you have to like front load on.
Yeah. Well, and you can do the labels, right? And the labels stay.
Yeah, the labels stay per project or like stays across your whole program instead of just the project. But it's not like crazy customizable because they're like, you have these tabs. Why would you need to explore any other tabs? Which I can understand, but I disagree with. I'll give it a 3.
There you go. I think that's reasonable.
That's fair.
Effects and number 3, effects and presets. Final Cut Pro, brother.
This might be the bread and butter of Final Cut Pro.
Final Cut Pro.
Cathedral 2 Echo. Oh my gosh.
Oh my.
It's so good. I actually really enjoy the Final Cut presets. One is when you select the presets or the transitions, you can actually see what they do in Premiere. Yeah. It's just like the text.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't really know what it's going to do until I throw it on.
I think it's always this funny thing. So both of us came from Premiere and then went to Final Cut and then went to DaVinci. And so when you're switching these programs and you're like, okay, I know it's tint in Premiere.
Oh, yes.
What is it in Final Cut? They always have the same effects, but they're always like, oh, it's a colorize. And you're like, oh, great, okay, great.
Exactly. Change the color, colorize, tint. Yeah. It's confusing.
I don't think they have an invert. That's a down for me. X-ray.
Oh, they have. Oh, yeah, X-ray.
Anyway, that's my personal gripe.
Effects and presets. I feel like they're pretty good though. Yeah. Like I really like the way the adjustment layers work.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's nice. Pro. That's nice.
4?
3.5.
3.5.
I have a 3.5.
I feel like
sounds
that feels
good to me.
Premiere Pro.
Okay.
Premiere Pro, I'd say out of the box, you're opening it. Leaves a little bit to be desired.
Yeah.
Again, a little confusing, some of the presets. What I do like is you can take any of those, like let's say the transform effect, you make like a certain kind of zoom or you make a transition. You can save that and create that in your bin of presets and you can use that. Again, you kind of have to front load all your like really nice stuff. What Premiere does have is plugins. You can just download.
Yeah.
There's a lot of documentation on plugins.
Oh, man.
Buttload of plugins. A lot of free plugins. But again, out of the box,
it lacks something.
It lacks,
yeah,
for sure.
Literally the other day, I was trying to do a camera shake in Premiere, and in DaVinci they have like a preset, and Final Cut they have a preset. Premiere didn't have one. I had to go on Envato Elements,
download the free
or
plugin.
Motion Array or whatever, and find some like camera shake preset. So that to me it's a little bit of a down.
Sure.
But once you really get your program going, it's beautiful.
It's
a
nice.
beautiful
It's
thing.
very nice. I'd say 3.
3, yeah. Little lower than Final Cut, probably. DaVinci, I think, is pretty similar with Final Cut in that it's got a bunch of effects and presets that you can use. The downside is like, it's got like OpenFX and then like video effects. And it's like, why are they not in the same bin? So when I search, I'm just searching for those. But that's confusing. And then also, I don't know if this is kind of later, but to me, again, it gives a downgrade where it's like, you can't freaking keyframe those effects, brother.
Oh, it's awful.
You can't do it. Kind of sucks. I don't know if that falls under the category, but
there's some effects that just work extremely well in DaVinci. Like I feel like the magic mask, very nice.
Okay, yeah.
Very tasteful.
It's like in Premiere and in Final Cut, you're able to do basic like compositing and stuff like that, but it always feels like DaVinci is trying to push you to the Fusion page. I don't want to learn the Fusion page, DaVinci. Give it to me into the effects, the effects panel, and I'll keyframe it, and I'll, you know what I'm talking about? Like in Premiere, draw a mask, brother.
Oh.
Draw a mask, just right there.
It's very good.
In DaVinci, it's like, maybe head over to the color page, or check out the Fusion page.
It's like, check out the Fusion page, and if you're trying to composite, but not really composite, I guess you could go to the color page. Yeah. We'll give that to you. But just but some of the like pre-made effects and stuff are nice. I don't know if they're like that much nicer than like Final Cut and Premiere. I don't know, maybe 3.5. Again, the Magic Mask is really nice.
I'm
And
dogging on it, brother. I'm 2.5 over here. 2.5.
Even it out of 3.
Okay, 3.
Even it out of 3.
3. Here we go.
I like it. Ooh, text and titles.
Text and titles.
Oh.
Here we go. Here we go.
Final Cut, you're bad, dude. You're so bad at text and titles. Obviously, you can throw on like basic titles and stuff. Sure.
Yeah.
It's fine. It does the job.
If you're trying to animate them, good luck. Like if you're trying to do like it's a lot of manual work. Like you're masking that sucker and you're revealing the mask to like animate it on, right? So what are we doing? Maybe like a 2?
I'll give it a 2. I'll give it a 2. Premiere, I actually really enjoy the text and titles in Premiere.
Yeah.
The central graphics panel, it's really nice. It looks like Photoshop where you can center the text. And it's all
robust.
like really easy.
Yeah.
Like Final Cut, it's like you have to scrub around. You have to figure out how to find, like how to change the color of like the text and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's not like super simple. And then I feel like even when you select the color, you have to like select it a couple times. So that way it'll change the color because sometimes it just won't change. Premiere, if you've worked in Photoshop, you can use the essential graphics panel. Very easy.
Very similar.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's nice.
It's true. Back in the day, they didn't have the essential graphics panel, so they had what was it called? Legacy titles or something
Oh,
like that?
yeah, the legacy title
Yeah, dude,
graphics,
I used the
dude.
legacy titles all the
Use and
time.
abuse it. I remember for the longest time, I didn't know how to center anything in the legacy title thing. And so I'd always like turn on the safe margins.
Put on guides and you're like-
see, I'm like, is that in the middle? And then I had a friend say, you know, that little icon with like the square and like the middle will center the text. Out of 5.
You love
I'd
it.
say 4.
Okay.
I think 4.
4.
Like it's not perfect. I don't know what else I'm looking for, but I think 4 is totally reasonable.
Ton of customizability inside of Premiere, I think, which is nice. Okay, here we go. DaVinci for titles.
I think DaVinci's titles are pretty much on par with Premiere Pro's. The only thing that I think is a little weird is Text and Text Plus.
Yeah.
What the heck?
I don't get it.
What's the deal?
Doesn't make any sense to me.
There is something interesting. And again, I don't remember if it's in Text or Text Plus.
Yeah.
But they have like a type on effect.
Yes, Text Plus.
Text Plus. Good job. just combine them. What the heck? Oh, actually.
Okay.
Premiere Pro is the best way to search for a font. You can type in the whole font and you can find it. In Final Cut Pro, in DaVinci, you have to type in the first letter and then scroll like a pleb and find the font you're looking for.
If you keep typing,
because
it
if you keep typing, it'll switch. So it's like,
Yes,
oh, you're
that's
looking for an
super
M. Now you're
annoying.
looking for an L. In Premiere, it'll just let you type in the whole font and find
Yeah.
it super easily. I can't rate anything higher because of the font search feature.
Yeah.
But DaVinci, I give it a 3.5.
Okay, yeah, I would say so too, because there's in that Text Plus, there's actually some wild stuff you can do.
Really?
Like there's like a shading tab, and then you can do this thing where I think you like add multiple effects to text, not knowing it very well.
Yes.
But like trying to do like outlines on text, I had to like go through this whole rigmarole. Maybe that's a downside. Maybe it's a downside. I was trying to do outlines on text, and I had
Like
to
a
like
stroke or what do you
yeah,
mean?
a stroke,
Oh,
brother.
okay.
Yeah, and in Premiere, it's like
Premiere, you just click the
put
stroke,
a stroke.
button.
Yeah. But I had to do this
Simple.
weird thing where like I had to add another layer to it.
Oh, interesting.
Maybe it's a downside, brother.
Maybe it's a downside?
3.
3?
I'm a 3 for
I'm
this.
okay with that.
Okay.
Again, if someone knows Text or Text Plus better, enlighten us.
Let us know.
Final Cut. Formidable. It's okay.
Yeah.
What I dislike about Final Cut's keyframe animation is that it's connected to the video clip. That it's like,
Yeah.
I have to click on the video clip itself in the timeline to look at the keyframe. Why is there not just a keyframe window? I would appreciate
Great
a keyframe
question.
window. Also, for whatever reason, you can't just like grab your keyframe and slide it to the end. It like stops one frame before the end of the clip, and so
Yeah.
you have to like brute force slide the keyframe
Yep. It's a little annoying.
to be at the end.
Now, to be fair,
Yes.
You ready? This is some deep NLE knowledge right here.
Okay.
Your playhead, when your playhead is at a certain point, it is showing the frame to the right. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So when
Oh,
you
interesting.
keyframe, it's gonna go all the way. That motion is gonna continue all the way, even though it's not to the end, because then that keyframe is actually gonna do motion for the following frame that you're not seeing. Does that make sense?
I see.
But I do understand it is a downside, because if you're trying to drag it to the beginning, it doesn't work either. But at the end, if it stops right before the end, it's fine. It's fine
Really?
because the motion goes
working in
because
Final
it's
Cut for a
showing
whole year.
the frame to the right, and the keyframe does the motion all the way to that. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Am I making sense?
I think I understand.
And so it's actually all right, but it's annoying at the start.
Also, if you're trying to reverse the keyframes, they won't like pass through each other.
Oh, that's so
Super
annoying. That's
annoying.
so annoying.
And
and then also
there's no easing, right?
yeah, only for position. It's like linear, and then smooth is like how you get handles on it.
Okay.
And then he's like, and then you drag this handle all the way here, and this handle all the way here, and then it's like an easy ease. I'm like, that's a lot of steps. That's a lot. And then you can't ease only position. You can't ease scale.
Ease
You can't.
scale.
You're like when you're doing stuff like that, you're like manually keyframing stuff because you're like, well, I want it to be like this.
It's bad. But
So
I'm pretty sure you can keyframe effects though. Any effect you have
yes,
on, you can
yeah.
keyframe it.
Oh, wait till we get to Davinci, brother.
Davinci, you're cooked, brother.
You're cooked. Keyframes.
Keyframe animation for Final Cut, I'd say 2.
1.5. 2.5. Well, I mean, what are we giving Davinci, right? I think that's
true.
Like,
I feel like I can't give more than a 2 myself.
okay,
But
all right, 2.
Premiere, you can keyframe anything, man. You can keyframe your masks, and it's super easy to keyframe your masks. You have a whole keyframe window. You can see the keyframe graph. You can ease it however the frick you want. Any effect, anytime, anywhere, any clip, and it's super simple. It's just beautiful.
I got one question for you.
Hard-hitting.
Why can't you just do easy ease? Why do you have to do ease in, ease out? Give it to me.
Is that the Bezier?
Yeah.
Is that ease in and ease out?
You know,
combined?
like so when you do easy ease in
Yes.
After Effects, it's just nice slope, brother.
Yes.
Premiere, you got to do ease in and then ease out.
It's not perfect, all right? It's not, it's not
okay,
perfect.
sorry,
it's not
sorry,
perfect.
sorry. It's my personal
But there's
gripe.
Bezier and Auto Bezier.
Yeah.
What are those? You're the keyframe guy. Do you know
Dude, I don't know. Bezier is like, I'm pretty sure Bezier is like a math term. Just means like a curve.
I mean, it's all curves.
it's good. It's good. That's I got to be a little bit of kind of contrarian.
That's true. But if we're comparing stuff to After Effects,
Yeah.
After Effects is like the keyframe god.
Yeah, it's a keyframe god.
4.5. dude.
4.5.
4.5.
I'll give it to
right.
it. Okay, Davinci. Ooh.
Get ready for some heat.
Ready for a 0.5?
Oh,
0.5?
There a new
Ooh.
one. Go. Just
Ooh.
go.
Okay. All right. Biggest gripe with DaVinci keyframes. Basically everything. Okay, so you set some keyframes, right? And you're like, let me try to ease them. You flip open this menu to like see the curve, and it's way too big. You gotta like scale that sucker down, and then you can start to mess with it. It's like not a great experience.
Not great.
Not
Well,
pleasant.
and it's like, why won't you just show me the ones I keyframed? It's
Yeah.
like, do you want to see? And also the fact that the zoom is separated between zoom X and zoom Y,
oh my.
where it's either scaling horizontally or vertically,
too
but not
much.
at the same time.
It's too much.
What?
Yeah.
It's erroneous. You throw on any other effect, it's like, you just have to guess with the keyframe. You
Yeah.
can set it. So you can keyframe it. You just can't see where you keyframed it to.
You got to use that little arrow to be like, oh, yeah, that's right. I said it here.
I think I said it here, but if I wanted to drag it to the last frame of
Yeah.
the clip, it's
Reset-
impossible.
you reset
have to
everything. You
delete
reset
it.
everything,
It's
and it's like-
it's crazy that.
It's not good.
And again, if you say go to Fusion, shut your mouth, dude. That is like a completely different program.
I don't want to.
It's scary. It's scary.
Node who? Node what? Huh?
Did you ever go into After Effects? Were you scared? That's what I'm feeling right now. But there's no layers.
It's bad. Honestly, 0.5. Oh, okay. My other gripe, brother.
Okay, give it to me.
You open up that menu and it's like, okay, yeah, what do you want to see on this graph, right? There's like 50 options.
Yes.
None of them are the ones I want.
None of the ones are the one I keyframed.
I have to like find the ones I keyframed. Oh
it's
my gosh.
horrendous.
0.5. 0.5.
I'm fine giving you a 0.5. That's how
0.5.
much I just absolutely
0.5.
it's disgusting. Tell me about the Final Cut Pro
Final
motion
Cut,
tracking. I
it's
don't
fine.
know much about it.
It's fine. Although you did a tutorial recently with it and you're like, it's kind of trash.
It looked a little confused. It was off. The track was off.
It's
in
one
the
of those
tutorial.
things. It's like motion tracking is so confusing. Even in After Effects, I feel like it's like, could it be simpler? I feel like it could.
100%.
Where like you're hopping into different like composition panels, whatever. It's not just an effect. It's like a weird sub panel or something like
Yeah.
that. If we're saying DaVinci is the god of motion tracking, which I believe
Yes,
it is,
I think you're right.
it's got to be like a
It's gotta be a
one.
one. It has to be.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
one. Yeah,
a
I
one.
can't. I don't feel good giving anything higher than a one. I have only used Premiere motion tracking for masks. Like you can draw a mask and then there's
okay.
a little play button and you can track the mask.
How does it do?
It's okay.
Okay,
I'd say
alright.
it's middle of the road. It's
All
not
right,
great. It's
okay.
not terrible. Actually, tracking a point, I don't even know if you can do that in Premiere, actually. Like tracking a point.
Is it like a 1.5?
Probably.
Okay. Okay, Davinci. I think this is where Davinci can make up some ground, honestly.
100%.
I think it's a 5.
I think it's a 5 as well.
It's a 5, dude. The motion tracking is so quick. It's like you have that, what was that, the face detection effect in the color page.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It just does it.
It does
it's
it.
Like, okay.
It knows the eyes are there,
Great.
the mouth's there, the chin's there.
Yeah.
And it just does it.
You do like a mask in the color page and you just click like, hey, just track it. It's like, all right.
And it has like 17 dots that show up, and I'm like, it's really doing like a good job. Like, you know where everything is. Like, sometimes I'll even mask around a person. They'll just follow him.
Yeah.
They'll just know it.
And it compares to After Effects motion. And okay, maybe people are gonna flame me here, but like, I don't know if After Effects is really the program to be motion tracking in. Probably not.
Negative.
But it's much better because After Effects is so freaking slow.
Yes.
And DaVinci is like, you got 100 frames to track. Done.
It's fast.
2 seconds.
It's DaVinci, you're making up ground fast.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Very good. A quick one for Final Cut. I think does a great job. I think there is some simplicity to it. And so maybe that gets like a point deducted to it. But I think I would give it, honestly, like a 4. And here's the thing. You ready? And this is where DaVinci is about to get a 1. You can Shift Select and then Command E, brother. Command E for export?
Export?
Makes a lot of sense.
Call him crazy.
And then you just, they just all export all at the same time with the settings that you set. It's like, great. I know, don't you have a little bit of a gripe with like where it saves it or something like that?
I do have a gripe.
Okay.
I have a gripe with where it saves it.
There
Davinci
we
Resolve also does the same thing.
Yeah.
When you go to export it, it will just export it wherever the last thing you exported went to. So let's say, again, in Premiere, you go to export something. It was like, okay, your sequence 12 exported in this folder, sequence 13 exported in a different folder, and it will take me back to that folder so that way I can just, again, if I'm batch exporting, I don't have to re-navigate to the folder every single time because it knows per sequence where it was exported. A plus for Final Cut Pro, you export and can continue working in the project.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't pause the whole program.
That's right.
So it just does it in the background.
The thing you're seeing in Final Cut is the thing that will export. Now, again, that's like an Apple workflow.
Yeah.
Clearly. And so that's really nice because there's such a rigmarole with DaVinci and Premiere to like, all right, this is what I'm seeing in the program. And then I export, it's like, it's a little not contrasty.
Yep.
What happened? So I feel like that's a plus. I don't know what we want to give it. I feel like I want to give it a 4, but I feel like that might be too high because there's a little bit of a like, again, like customizability. If you're wanting to set your like bit rate, pretty sure you can't do that.
It's like audio bit rates, video bit rates. But again, it's like, where's it going? It depends on where it's going. If you're making a feature film, obviously don't freaking edit in Final Cut.
Probably not.
But if you're making a YouTube video, this might be like, if it was exporting for a YouTube video, I'd say it's probably a 5.
Yeah.
But I'd say overall, 4.
Yeah.
But very pleasant experience. Very easy to export stuff
Ease
in
of
Final
use.
Cut Pro.
Command E for export.
Command E. It just makes sense.
Premiere. What are we giving Premiere here?
I'm a media encoder guy.
Ooh.
I love media encoder. I'm exporting in Premiere. I'm not happy about it. I want to put that sucker in a media encoder.
Okay. Hot take. Is media encoder on here? I don't see media encoder as a thing we can give a score to.
Premiere, it's fine. The export is fine. What it does have over Final Cut is options.
Yeah.
Which
customizability
is a double-edged sword. If you're a beginner, there's too many options.
Yeah.
If you're a novice, there's some good options. You can export it for whatever. Like I've had to export stuff for like Hulu that had very specific bitrate instructions. And it's easy. And I feel like you can kind of set it to whatever you want. It's not hard. It's a little ugly. I'll give it that. It's ugly, but like it gets the job done.
Yeah.
It's like a truck that hauls manure.
There
It
you
does
go.
it. It's not a sexy truck.
No. A little confusing when you first hop in.
Definitely.
But it has presets.
So it has presets.
You're chilling.
And especially my favorite is just like the match source high bit rate.
Oh, yes.
Where it's like, okay, whatever my sequence settings are set at, that's what I'm going to export it as.
Yeah.
I would feel fine giving it a 4.
Yeah.
Because,
Agreed.
again, it gets the job done. It's nothing terrible. I'd say it's a 4. I'd say that's
and
fine.
Batch exporting.
And you can batch export, again.
Call me
I'm pretty
crazy.
sure that's is that just with media encoder, though? Batch exporting? Can you batch export directly in Premiere?
Ooh, I'm pretty sure you can. Let's see. You can only batch in media encoder.
Yep. So for that, maybe I give it a 3.5.
I think it's got to be a 3.5.
It's got to be a 3.5. But again, for the most part, I don't have issues with it.
Okay, DaVinci. Hello again, my old friend. Can you not batch export?
Davinci's biggest fan. Right
What
here.
is with that, huh? People have this weird workaround where it's like, okay, yeah, just compound all of your like timelines, or maybe you can drag your timelines. I think it's drag all your timelines into a new timeline. And then DaVinci has this great thing where it's like, oh, export per clip. And it's like, yeah, but then my like naming convention is all fricked. Like, okay, great. I can export in this like special little timeline, but it's like, can I not just shift click and export instead of having to like select the timeline, go to the deliver page, add it to the queue?
So you could kind of batch export like that. I get it's not.
Yeah, but
it's not
you're
exactly,
you're not
but you're manually
shift-clicking.
inputting. Yeah, you're manually inputting the data every single time.
And doing Command E, brother.
But
for
again,
export.
I do just hate having to click add to render queue every time.
Yeah.
I know there's a quick export option in DaVinci.
Is there?
There is a quick export
Oh, tell me about it.
I don't know that much about it. I just
It
know there's a
exists.
button.
Okay.
It exists. It does a more simple version, kind of like Final Cut. There's just too many points of failure that I would never quick
Do
export
that.
in
Yeah,
DaVinci Resolve,
yeah.
just in case. But maybe I should try it out more and see what happens.
Yeah, because you can set up like custom export settings. So we've done that. So that way it's pulling the timeline name, which is really nice. Downside, can't edit that timeline name.
Oh, yeah.
If you decide not to do that, it's just like, oh, we'll just call it untitled. Not helpful. Like, give me the timeline name and then I will change the version number if it's a different version.
true.
Or, so
I would say
Little
the
gripe.
customizability is probably the highest. Like,
Yeah.
If you're exporting for like a feature film or something, or you want like lossless data
Yeah.
with your footage, it's good.
Got
But
a
again,
lot of
I feel like
settings in
it
there.
is just like it's a little too confusing. You can't batch export really. So probably, I feel like maybe a 3.
2, brother.
2?
The batch export really pisses me off. Like, it really is not fun.
Okay, we can do 2.5.
Oh my gosh, 2.5.
2.5.
We'll meet in the middle. Okay, speed ramping, huh? Speed ramping in Final Cut, I'll give it to you straight. It's amazing.
It's so good.
So simple.
Very nice.
You put those points, you do a little, Shift B, set a new point. You got these little nice handles, makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
You have these like the numbers, it tells you, oh, this one's at 225%, this one's at 100%. I want to get rid of all of it, reset it. Easy, simple, nice.
It's very good.
Great. I would give it, honestly, a 5.
I love the handles.
Okay.
But it's not like a curve. So I feel like for people that are used to like the curve, it might be a little confusing. But again,
Okay.
I feel like getting away from the curve and looking at a speed ramp in a different way has been very nice. I'd say 4.5 only because the speed ramps look best with a motion blur plugin.
yes.
And without the motion blur plugin, you just get like a cheaper looking speed ramp.
Yeah.
So it's dependent on this plugin. Mm-hmm. But it is very easy. It's
Yeah.
very nice.
Yeah.
It's
4.5.
very easy. It's very pleasant.
Let's do it.
The Premiere Pro speed ramping process is not my favorite. It's not great
It's a little confusing.
because you have to go in, you click on the like FX panel, and then you click on like change time or like change motion. So it's not like this quick one click thing. It's like you have to click into a different drop down, enable speed ramping, and then from there you get like the curves, but it's all like in this format of like a straight line. So it's like, okay, I make a point on this straight line, and so far the straight line is 100%, but you're dragging the line up,
Yeah, it's
and then it's like
confusing.
shortening the clip, but you don't really have a frame of reference because you should just be able to grab the end of the clip and move it to adjust the speed instead of dragging and going up and down to adjust the speed, which I feel like for your brain is just like an absolute brain twister. And I'm pretty sure there's not a motion blur option. There might be like an effect that you put on, like maybe force motion blur.
Okay.
But it doesn't look as good. Whatever the plugin is for the Final Cut Pro motion blur is very nice. It's
great.
The Premiere one is not my favorite. I'd say it's 3.
Okay.
Or like a 2.5.
I've used it a little bit. I mean, it's better than After Effects. After Effects is like, doesn't make any sense. No sense at all. So it's a bit better. They do have that rate stretch tool, but
I
again,
like the rate
you're
stretch
not
tool
like
a lot. But you're not
setting
adding
a point.
points. Yeah.
Yeah,
So you
so
have to
it's-
like chop up the clip.
It's kind of confusing.
Yeah.
What about DaVinci? What about I don't even
DaVinci speed ramping
Is it fine?
It's fine.
Okay.
It's more similar to Final Cut than it is
That's
to
right. Yeah, 'cause it gives you that little bar at
Because
the
it does
top.
give you the bar. What I dislike about it is there's no quicker way to add like a speed point. That's like its deal.
Right.
Yeah, so you have to click into a menu to add a
that
speed
sucks.
point. Removing the speed point I feel like is kind of difficult. Resetting the clip to 100% is again a couple clicks. And
Yeah.
in Final Cut you just like Command R and it normalizes, or Command N or whatever.
Yeah.
It changes the clip back
back
to
to
100%.
100%. It's so
really
nice.
quick, but it does have the curve in it, which I actually enjoy. So I
Yeah.
feel like the curve is kind of nice.
Yeah.
So I'd say probably like a 4. It's not as pleasant as
Okay.
Final Cuts, but it's still like better than Premiere. It's still a lot more fun to use.
Yeah, I'm there for it. Okay, documentation. Here we go. Here's a, Final Cut documentation. You're trying to look up something a little specific. You're not finding it.
Not even Reddit can save you.
Not even
Pro.
Reddit, brother. The documentation on Final Cut is so bad. It's like we're happy if we're finding a YouTube video from like 2017. It's like, whoa, hey, that's kind of recent. Like this, I think might solve our problem. Like it's bad, dude. And then like, yeah, you're going to like old forums. You're going to Apple forums that like nobody has responded to in like 10 years. There's like still some bug that they haven't fixed.
I just feel like the community for Final Cut Pro, it's not loud. It's not a loud community.
But it's crazy because it exists. It's there.
There are a lot of people use it.
YouTube is huge with Final Cut. So it's like, it's funny. Documentation, trash though.
Yeah, it's you
really
cannot
bad.
find out how to do anything.
Yeah. I'm giving it a 1, brother. I'm giving it a 1.
Yeah, the documentation's really bad.
Yeah.
Even Apple's like tossed it to the side.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
Premiere, documentation's probably a 5.
Oh yeah.
I'd say you can find a video on anything. Again, to change the UI.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You can find a video on that, and it's really simple.
Yeah.
I also made a lot of documentation in Premiere. A little self-plug. If you're looking to learn Premiere, follow Born Brothers on Instagram.
It's not a dead page.
It's not dead. It's very much alive. But there's 1,000 people that do that same exact thing. Like there's a bunch of people. It's like, this is how you do this effect in Premiere. This is how you do that. It's a pretty thriving community. It's easy to find anything you're looking for.
Very good. So what are we giving, a 4?
I think it's a 5.
It's a 5.
Like I've never.
It's a 5.
There is the
struggled.
occasional like super rare problem
in every program.
In every
you're gonna
program.
have that, like.
But I'd say for the most part, you can find it. Like, my brother had this super niche issue where he was playing the timeline and it just like kept like skipping out the sound. And it was like, what is going on? And like the sound looked fine on the timeline and everything. So he puts it in. It turns out it was like an audio input issue where like Premiere was trying to like find a microphone to like input, and for whatever reason it was messing it up. So he found something on Reddit that explained the problem, turned it off. The most niche problem I've ever seen. And there was documentation on it. It was amazing.
5. Give it a 5, brother. Davinci. Okay, this is, I feel like, a little bit of a dirty secret with Davinci. Every freaking editor YouTuber was like, I'm switching to Davinci, and then they like made a bunch of tutorials on it, right? But like the documentation for some reason like stops there. Like I don't know what it is, but again, we were trying to find this thing about like, can you keyframe effects? And like we were digging deep, brother, and we couldn't find it. And it was always like these freaking videos that was like everything you need to know about masks. It's like, I don't want to know about masks. Everything you need to know about keyframes. It's like, no. I want this very specific thing. Here's also the problem is that there are 2 versions of DaVinci, right? There's DaVinci Studio, and then I think just DaVinci Resolve.
Yeah, DaVinci
right?
Resolve and DaVinci Resolve Studio.
And so there's this funny line where people are like kind of towing, where it's like, this is how you do it in the free version, but if you have the paid version, this is how you do it as well. And so I think that confuses the documentation a little bit.
Oh, for sure.
A little uptick to it is that it's better than the Apple forums. They have a Blackmagic forum.
Oh, that's true.
And it's thriving, it's robust. It's like from the 1990s. I made an account on it and it was like so old. I had to use like freaking it was like HTML to like I was doing like brackets to like bold a title or whatever. I was like, what is this? This is so old. And oftentimes you can find discussions and stuff like that. It's a lot of effort.
Work.
It's a lot of effort. So what are we saying with this one?
I'd say 3.
3.
I'd say 3 out of 5 because it's there. Final Cut Pro, $300 for life with continuous updates. Easy.
Yeah.
I'd say 5.
Yep.
Very affordable.
Yep.
Premiere Pro is definitely a 1. Like the only way you're getting Premiere Pro at a good deal is if you're going to college or you're in high school and it's getting paid for you. If you're paying for it by yourself, like you're just boned.
It
sucks.
Both of us at a company that pays for it. Thank goodness.
Blessed.
It's like $50 a month.
It's extremely expensive.
No, if you're just getting Premiere though, I think it's like $30 a month.
But the reason you want Premiere is for all the other stuff. So I'd say definitely, 1. If there was like a negative, there would definitely be one. Because in perpetuity, you're paying this the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Which sucks.
Yeah.
100%.
Here we go. DaVinci, I think similar to Final Cut, it's a great price point. I think it's the same one, $300.
Yeah, $300. Well, honestly, knowing that there's the free version of DaVinci,
does that make it better?
I think it makes it better.
Okay.
I'd say we bring down Final Cut to 4 and
4.
DaVinci to 5.
Yeah. Well, here's the other thing too. I think on that point, Final Cut it just doesn't get a lot of love in terms of updates. Davinci
true.
Resolve, brother, they're
Oh, yeah.
cooking on those updates. Like they're constantly, like we just had Davinci Resolve 19 come out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And there was already 19.1 or something
Yeah.
like that. So like, yeah.
There's new features coming all the time.
And it's the same price point as Final Cut. And so I feel like, yeah, that gives it a 5, Final Cut a 4.
Yeah, and if you're not looking to like dive in and spend $300, you can still use 90% of the program, get familiar with it, and then you can probably make some money doing some editing gigs.
Yeah.
And then purchase
Purchase
DaVinci
it
Resolve
once.
one time. You're not getting bled dry.
This is also a bit of a no-brainer, I think.
Yeah, kind of a no-brainer. Final Cut's color is really simple, but
Yeah.
it's accurate. Like I feel like it looks
Yes.
really good.
Yes.
It's really simple. Like you just have like midtones, highlights, shadows.
I'm just boosting the highlights.
Yeah, boosting the
Bringing down
highlights.
the mids?
Maybe bring down the mids just a little bit.
Where it's going to fall down in comparison to DaVinci. I'm about to talk out of my butt right here.
Let's hear it.
I think you're working in a Rec 709 color space, and so you're just limited. Which I think is a real thing. I think is a real. I think I'm not talking on my butt. I think it's a real thing
think you're
because you know when you're boosting those highlights and you're like, frick, I already like overexposed it. DaVinci, you're not having that issue. You're not having that problem.
And I've seen multiple videos where it's like color grading. It's like actually use this plugin for Final Cut Pro. That's how Daniel Schiffer colors his footage. It's
really?
not-
What's
it's
the
not
plugin?
direct. I couldn't tell you. I'd say maybe 3.5.
Let's do it.
because it's not
That
like
feels
crazy
good.
powerful.
Yeah.
Color grading in Premiere, I feel like is fairly similar.
I think it's a little less.
I think it's a little less.
because of the color shift,
There's the
as
color
well.
shift
Because
in the
you're coloring
export.
lumetri. We're talking about
Yeah,
lumetri color, right?
yeah.
When you're on that tri-color panel, whatever you want to call it, it's like the mids and the shadows and the
Yeah.
highlights, and you boost that sucker up, and I'm always hitting the top of that.
Oh, I'm always clipping the highlights.
Like
in
it's
Premiere.
always like, and it's
Without
but it's
fail.
not enough. That's the problem,
Yeah.
right? And so I remember watching a video and the guy's like, yeah, like make sure you increase like contrast so there's more separation before you go into those
interesting.
sliders. So I think it's less than Final
Yeah.
Cut. I think
I'd say like a 3.
Three.
Yeah. Do we even need to talk about DaVinci? It's a
DaVinci's
5.
a 5.
It's a 5.
It's a straight
It's what movies
5,
are color
dude.
graded in. It's
Yeah.
like pretty simple. You get a lot of work out of the color. You can change your color space.
Yeah.
There's more colors in the spectrum that you can work with.
I really feel like our stuff just looks better in
It does.
DaVinci Resolve. Now, the
really does.
downside again is like it looks great in DaVinci and then you export and you're like, why does it look so desaturated? What is happening? So that's a little
And
frustrating.
that could be
But
like an Apple thing.
It is
as
an Apple
well,
thing. It is
so
an Apple thing.
Final Cut's terrible.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Your options are not great. I feel like it always gets a little bit of points though because of the simplicity of it. No,
I disagree.
You don't think so?
For sound, the fact that you don't have different audio tracks per sound is egregious. It is absolutely egregious. I can't have all my dialogue on one track. It'll just like friggin' magnetize to whatever like the next thing is.
You can
You
separate.
can.
them.
It's just like
I'm gonna defend it.
so sure you can separate them, but there's no audio track mixer to throw effects or duck against a certain track. Like you can't
True.
duck your music against your dialogue.
Yeah, I think you can actually.
Really?
I think it sets keyframes. Maybe let's cut that out. I don't think that. I'm not sure about that, but I think it can. What I love about Final Cut,
It's crazy.
controversial,
absolutely crazy.
magnetic timeline. It's beautiful because you make an edit, brother. That sucker is linked. To that sucker. So it's like, I actually, the client comes back. I want this music to be shortened. Can you make it like in 15 seconds instead of 30? Easy money, brother. You shift all that crap over and all your sound effects are going to stay. Nothing. This is also big ups to me. Big ups. Nothing is going to get written over. I love that. I love that about Final Cut, dude. You throw in a sound effect. I'm not worried the sound effect is like a minute long and I'm working in a 15-second edit. And so it's like, oh, frick, did it write over something that I can't see? No.
That is true. That's a good point.
There you go. That's okay. But then other than that, trash.
Semicolon. However, you
Audio
cannot
mixing,
boost.
I
You
don't
cannot
think you
boost
can
the
do
gain over 12 decibels without having to throw
A
on
gain
a audio
effect.
gain effect, which is absolutely insane.
Egregious?
That is so crazy that you cannot boost it. Like I have to go into the effects panel every single time, search audio gain, and boost it up because for whatever reason, I don't know, plus 12 decibels is just like danger levels. It's crazy. Oh, frustrating. You can put it high. I will offset it with how low I'm putting it.
What number is in
I'm
your
giving
mind
it
here?
like a 1.5.
No,
I'm giving it a 1.5.
I was thinking 3.5.
We can even it out at 2.
Okay, 2. Fine. I'll be happy with that. Because
Yep.
mine's like
2.5.
really dependent on the magnetic timer.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Premiere, the sound design and audio mixing, I think is totally fine. I'm not a sound engineer, so
Yeah.
probably some people are like, huh, a fool. But it has an audio track mixer. You can do all your EQs. You can duck against stuff. There's also the essential sound panel, which is really nice, where the essential sound panel will go through. It will automatically tag your dialogue using AI. It'll tag your dialogue, sound effects, and stuff. In Premiere, you have the enhanced speech feature, which is really nice. So if you have really dirty audio, you can clean that up. There's a lot of repair functions. There's just a lot of different things you can do between the audio track mixers and the essential sound panel, which I really enjoy.
It's like that essential sound panel is like unto Fairlight in Davinci, where it's like it's pretty robust.
But I give it a 4. I think it's really pleasant. I've never had any issues with it. I think a 4.
Davinci's got it's got a little bit of a leg up in the fact that basically what you would do Audition for, Davinci has it built into Fairlight. Now, 100%. Again, is that like a separate program? It's not.
I don't know.
Really.
It's not. It isn't Davinci Resolve.
It's a little confusing.
So I feel like it's a little confusing, but it's not as confusing as like Fusion.
Fusion.
I think for someone that's more familiar with doing audio stuff would be a lot more comfortable in Fairlight than in like just the Premiere page, because it's a little more helter-skelter.
I feel like it might be the same as Premiere, because I feel like it's got very similar functions where like you can set audio effects to tracks, right, and like all that kind of stuff. Like,
well, there are a couple more things. Like there is like a visual EQ in Fairlight.
Okay.
There's some like EQ. I feel like it's
Does
either
Premiere not have
4.5. You have to add it on. Like it's not built into every single track. So there's some really cool effects just in Fairlight, like the stereo width effect, where you can really turn stuff to the left or right channels instead of like in the center. So I think I give it a 5.
All right.
I think I give it a 5.
Masking and compositing. Unless you're Daniel Schiffer and you're just like a god at masking and compositing inside of Final Cut, I don't think anyone else can do what he does inside of Final Cut. It's a little low to me.
Really?
It's a little low. Now,
have you tried the green screen in there?
That's phenomenal,
it's
actually.
Very nice.
It's phenomenal.
What's
the green
your
screen
gripe?
just works.
What's
the
your
green
gripe
screen
in
just
there?
works. What is my gripe? Maybe I don't have a gripe.
I think you're just dogging on.
I'm just trying to.
I think it's really good. Actually.
Controversy, you know what I mean?
I think the Final Cut compositing is very nice.
Okay. What are we giving it? 4?
Yeah, I'd give it a 4.
The draw mask effect is pleasant.
The mask's really easy to use. It's really easy to keyframe.
Okay.
And again, if you watch Daniel Schiffer, I could do that.
There you go.
He hasn't done anything too crazy.
Premiere.
I think Premiere's compositing is also very nice.
Pretty similar.
Like the masking is easy, like keyframing the mask. And you can keyframe like every effect too. You can keyframe like a color effect. You can keyframe like a mosaic blur, and you can do it all just in the same layer.
Can you ease those effects too?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can ease them.
Oh,
you can
my
keyframe them.
heavens.
It's really nice, actually. It's very pleasant.
Is there any downside to it?
Is there
anything
any
that kind of
downside?
sucks about it? Now,
there's no like roto. You can't roto anything.
Well, and doing a mask is annoying. It's not bad, but it's
gotten better.
It's gotten better.
Since
really?
the update, you can middle click the screen and move it around. Because that was my issue with the mask.
I remember it was so
felt
clunky.
Like you drew the mask and then you had to like use the sliders to adjust the frame. Where you were looking. It's gotten a lot better since the last update.
Right. 4.
So I give it a 4.
Let's do it. Davinci. Oh, what?
It could be good and bad.
What's good and bad?
What's good? The overall masking. The masking
in Davinci.
In Davinci, depending on how you're doing it.
Okay.
Is a plus or a minus.
You're right.
Because the magic mask.
Phenomenal.
Insane.
Yeah.
Well, and in the other ones you can't roto.
Here's my downside to Davinci. The way it treats alphas. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, it's weird.
I have no idea what's going on, but like...
You getting those little black artifacts?
Yeah, when you go inside of After Effects and you do the preset to do an alpha, it sets it to animation, which is, I guess, a weird codec. I don't know. The other programs are going to find. Davinci has a hard time with it. I don't get what it is. And then also, I just feel generally like the alphas look worse in Davinci than the other programs. I don't know what it is.
I haven't used alphas a whole lot.
I don't know what it is. It just is not my favorite. And then, it's also annoying too. Like I'm hopping into Fusion very rarely, but I'm hopping into draw a mask, brother.
Yeah,
why can't that be an effect?
Why can't it be an effect in the edit
I'm in
page?
Fusion. I don't want to be there.
Yeah,
I'm adding an effect. I got to click the effect off so I can see what I'm looking at. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But if you know Fusion, it would be like the best one.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because it's limitless. It's limitless. But coming again, I feel like we're validated though. We're validated coming from other programs. Mm-hmm. That's not how the other programs do it.
That's true.
And maybe you're trying to be different, I guess. Hooray. But I don't like it.
Yeah.
Because I think the way, this is again confusing. If you're trying to see what's underneath it, you gotta I think add a node to show that clip or something like that. It's like,
Well, it's just a whole different way to
It's a
edit.
node-based
It's a whole different way
workflow,
to
which
think.
is confusing. Is it 4? Are we tied all around?
I feel like I would feel wrong rating it lower than the other ones when we're
Okay.
not using it to its full capacity
Okay,
of
okay.
Fusion.
Yeah.
Even though Fusion's more difficult. But I'd have to say 4.
Let's do a 4. I'm good
can
with
live
4.
myself.
4 feels good. Final Cut subtitles, very old. It like literally does, what is it called? Like SEO 604 or something like that. And then because it's in that like subtitle setting, you have very limited capabilities in terms of like font styles and like how big it is. It's trash. It's really trash, to be honest. If you're doing subtitles, you honestly probably are dragging a text layer in and manually doing subtitles. Therefore, I'm giving it a 1.
I won,
brother.
100%.
A 1. Premiere Pro,
Premiere Pro subtitles are awesome.
I'm hopping in hot to a 5. It's a
5.
5, brother.
It's very good.
The automatic transcription, like
So good.
that you can set like subtitle styles.
Yep.
So again, like if you're a social person, you're posting a lot of things on social, you just save your style and you just use it every single time.
Yep.
So pleasant. It links with the essential graphics panel.
Yep.
Right? And so it's
I
like
love the essential graphics
beautiful.
panel.
There's so much customization to that.
Super customizable, very
Yeah.
easy to use. And then you can export those styles
Yeah.
and bring them into other projects. So that way it's consistent across all your things.
You have a lot of options. So it's great.
It's great.
It's a 5.
I have no problem
It's a
giving it a
5.
5. Have you used the Davinci subtitles at all?
I've used it, so I did the Premiere workflow to get an SRT and threw it into Davinci. I don't know if I can
feel
talk
they
like
might-
confidently
Yeah,
enough
I don't
about
feel
it,
like I can talk super confidently
but I'm gonna
about
give it a
either.
2.
I don't know much about it, but 2. It's probably a 3.
A
2.5. We could do 2.5.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know enough about it, but
Let's
I
do
just know
3.
Premiere's.
We'll give it the benefit of the doubt here. We'll give it the benefit of the doubt. Stabilization Final Cut Pro. I'll be quick on this one. It's moderate, a 3. It's like pretty good. You'll have to talk to this. I think it's better than Premiere's because I think the warp stabilize in Premiere is like totally fricked sometimes.
Yeah, it's bad.
So maybe a 3. We'll just middle of the road it.
Yeah,
Wait,
I
is
like
middle of the
it.
road 3? Is it 2.5?
2.5 would be middle of the
2.5.
road.
Let's give it middle of the road 2.5.
Yeah, stabilization in Premiere. Warp stabilizer just sucks. It's bad.
very good.
It's very
And
hard on the
slow.
processor. It's super
Yeah,
slow.
yeah.
If you accidentally screw up and add like a frame here or there,
Oh my
it will
gosh.
put the blue bar over the whole thing.
You had a project that happened, right?
I knew some
Oh.
people that exported a project, played it at a festival, and had the warp stabilizer
Yeah.
thing on there. Very embarrassing. Very rookie move.
Yeah.
But the fact that it puts that big blue bar on when you export it instead of just like not
warning you or
warping
something?
you or
Yeah.
saying, hey, there's like a graphic here that shouldn't be in there. When it works fine. But for the most part, yeah, it's not my favorite. It's not a very pleasant experience. I'd say 1.5.
1.5.
Stabilization's very
yeah.
poor.
DaVinci's,
It's very good.
it's very good. It's very good. And again, it's like similar to the masking or the tracking.
Yes.
Where it's like fast. It's like, I want to stabilize this sucker. I'm done.
Done.
And the settings make a lot more sense because like, again, in Premiere, you have like warp stabilize and then you get like subspace warp and then some other ones. And then I think DaVinci's is just like, do you want no motion or do you want like a little bit of motion? It's like, I'll take a little
I'll
motion.
take a little. Well, and I love the camera lock feature. It's like you
Yeah.
want it to look like it was like
On a tripod?
on a tripod. I'm like, sure,
Done.
I'll do that.
Yeah. So
I give
is
it a 5, dude. I think
five. It's
the
probably the best.
stabilization is very good. It's
probably
very
the best.
it's very and it's just pleasant. It's just
Yeah.
very pleasant to
Yeah.
use.
I'm going to hop in this Final Cut 1 rendering playback. I
Yes.
think it's great.
It's very good.
It's great because you hop in there and it's like, let me make some optimized media. Awesome. Super simple. Let me make some proxy media. Actually, it's been failing on me recently. So that is a
Really?
minus. Yeah. Do you remember I was trying to do that? I was like, make me a 25% proxy. And it's like, I made it, but I'm not linked.
But you can't find it.
Yeah. So that, I think that's a bug.
But I feel like the optimized media, for the most part, like how often
Is
are you
good.
making proxies in Final Cut?
When it was, well, because the way optimized media works, right, is not down-resing it. It's just changing it to an MOV. So if you're working with a ProRes file, like shot from a Canon or something like that, optimized media doesn't help you. It's still 8K. It's going to take forever to
Okay,
render.
yeah.
So that's where you use proxy. But again, it's been failing on me. I'm pretty sure that's like a big bug. Maybe it's different now. But the rendering playback, awesome. You suffer with storage space.
Yes.
It's gonna eat your cache up, brother. It's gonna eat your memory on
Your
the
cache
computer.
is getting screwed.
And if you don't set it correctly as well, you're freaking like eating up a bunch of memory on your computer.
Yes.
So that kind of sucks.
That sucks, but when, the experience is nice.
Yeah.
If you didn't have to worry about storage,
Yeah.
the rendering and playback, and
It's
especially because it
phenomenal.
does it in the background.
Yeah.
Like I can go to the bathroom, eat a sandwich, do whatever it is, and it's like you You want me to render this? I'll do it. I'll do it right now. I'm not doing anything.
And then it's nice because doesn't it give you bars at the top?
Yeah, it gives you a little bar.
So
you can tell if it's
rendered or not. Yeah. Like 4.5.
It's still really pleasant though. I think
4.5?
a 4. I think a 4.
4.
Maybe not 4.5 because again the cache. So if you just remember to clear it, which you probably won't, if you did remember to clear it, it'd be really nice. The rendering and playback in Premiere, it's fine. A lot of people complain about it crashing. If it's crashing, just make proxies. It's not hard.
And proxies are not hard to make.
Proxies are
I used
really
to be a
easy.
hater. I was like, proxies, that's so confusing.
Yeah, it's like
Not that
2
confusing.
buttons.
Yeah.
You just right click, create proxies.
There you go.
Show them where it's stored, and it'll make them.
Yeah.
Throw it in the media encoder. My biggest gripe is if you have 8K footage with proxies and you want to render it out, it will not render out like the proxies for you. It will render out the 8K version. And so once it's fully rendered out, you get that green bar, your computer will chug because it's like, I'm trying to play 8K footage. And you're like, no, I want you to
in the
render
timeline.
out the timeline
to
the full res media.
Wow.
It won't do it
that's
to
annoying.
the proxy media. I'm like, I just want to render out the proxy media. And if I click
You're
off
talking about when
proxies-
you do like in and out and you say render into out.
Mhm.
Oh,
so
okay.
anytime I'm trying to render,
Yeah.
sometimes there is a color shift if you are playing part of a clip that's not rendered and then it goes into a rendered clip. There's a color shift, but I'd give it like a 3.5.
Okay, 3.5. DaVinci Resolve rendering and playback. I got some gripes. I feel like the proxy workflow in DaVinci, very pleasant. They have a separate program. You can do proxies in the program or you can go to a separate program and it just makes proxies and it makes them like hella fast.
Yeah,
It's like quick.
Fast and small. I feel like the proxies are always, like super small.
Super small. And so I really like that feature. Yeah, but the like playback can be a little bizarre.
Yeah, I have some gripes with the render, like the smart render cache or whatever.
Tell me about it.
So one time I edited this whole thing with the render cache on, but it turns out if I refresh the cache, like the scale of like a lot of my images would look different and stuff. So I just have had like a couple issues where I have to be like just super aware if
That you're
I'm
using the render
proxies,
cache. Yeah.
Am I using the render cache? Render cache, when it's rendering stuff out and it does its job, it does it great.
Yeah.
But there are those like moments where I'm like, wait, is this a bug or a feature? What is going on? And then I realize that my render cache is on and I have to clear it and then re-render it out and then it's fine. But it's just like sometimes you're in the thick of it.
Yeah, it's
and
annoying.
You don't really
annoying.
realize. So I'd give it, I feel like I'd give it like a 3.
A 3.
'Cause when it does work, it works fine.
It's
but
it's
I've had
another one.
I ran into some issues with it.
It's another one too where it'll eat up your storage. Now we don't experience this because we're working off a fat server, but I was working on a project on my home desktop and didn't have that much space available, and I was doing the smart render cache because it was older computer trying to make it work basically, and it'll eat up like 200 gigs easy.
Oh my gosh.
Any render cache is going to do that, right? Because it's literally rendering it out, but. A little bit of a gripe. What do you say, 3?
I give it a 3.
Final Cut organization. It's a double-edged sword.
It's not customizable.
It's a double-edged sword here. It's a little different. It's a little different. I feel like I've drunk the Final Cut Kool-Aid enough to be like, I like it. I actually like it because it's one of these things where it's like it's gonna organize for you as someone who. Maybe a little lazy in my organization. It's going to separate my video files in a little thing. It's going to separate my audio files in a little thing, all in this like event or like these smart collections.
Yeah.
You can even, the nice thing about it too is you can make smart collections.
Yeah.
So like, again, you have a bunch of timelines and you're like, oh, frick, they're all over the place. I don't have to like command click them all. Make a smart collection that has the like, they're all wide or whatever. Yeah. Or all the finals. And you can, that's really pleasant. It's a little funky, but personally, I enjoyed it because again, like I'm throwing in a bunch of crap. It's gonna just like sort it into an audio collection. It's
that's
great.
true.
I'm happy with that.
My gripe with that, your sound effects, music, dialogue are all in the same spot.
Yes, it's true.
And so it's like, unless I want to go manually tag it all,
Yeah.
it's all, but I can see where for speed, and it's like, oh, I need to look at my footage real quick. I feel like for footage, it's really helpful.
Yes.
For graphics, probably really helpful. For sound, not very helpful.
Final Cut finds itself in this funny situation where it's like the simplicity is nice, but it's also not
nice until it's not. It's nice until it's not. What would you give it? I give it a 3.
3. I'm comfortable with a 3.
Premiere organization, I'm a folder simp, dude. I love making a folder for freaking everything, and I make sure my folders match the folders in my Finder, or my Explorer, and it's just really easy. Like you create a bin, Command B, and then you just organize it all. And what's nice is you just have your project window, and anything you drag into your project will go in the project window, and then you can sort it from there, which I really enjoy.
Can you do smart collections inside of Premiere? Do you know?
I don't know if you can.
I
bet you could. I would be surprised if you couldn't.
If you can't do it, I'm docking it, brother.
Really?
I'm docking it.
Really?
I love
But you
the
have your
smart
folder.
collections.
You just open up your edits folder and you can find it. If you
Again, I'm command clicking.
If it derives from this mental illness I have of OCD, where I have to label it. It's like a garage I would have. It's like I have to go through all the work of like labeling it beforehand. Oh, but I love it. I walk in, I'm like look at where all these tools are.
I can see it.
I feel nice at home. I don't like it doing it for me. I got to do it myself. So that way I know where it all is.
Smart sorting with tags in Adobe Premiere. Okay, it looks like you could probably.
So it looks like you probably could.
Okay, that's good. I'm there for it.
You there for a 5?
I'll give it a 5.
You don't have to.
Just don't want Davinci to win, dude. Be so sad. Organization Davinci, it's very robust. It's going to be above Final Cut and it's going to be below Premiere.
For sure.
Because I think the one gripe, right, is that when you are in your media, what is that window called?
The media browser?
The media browser or something like that. When you're in that window with your folders and you're in your edits folder and you're like working on the timeline and then you drag a sound effect in from Finder, it's going to throw that into that folder. And like you said, like in Premiere, it throws it at the root, right? It throws it at the top, and then you get to organize it.
The media pool.
That's annoying because then I've got sound effects in my edit folder because I was in there while I was doing some other stuff, or they're in my video folder. So it's like, just throw it in the root, and like you said, I'll organize it. Let me organize it.
I was like, don't try and do it for me, because I'm not like micromanaging my media pool like all the time. So it's like, oh, maybe I have a graphic right now, but then I need to throw in a sound effect. And I'm like, stop putting it in these like trickle down folders.
Yeah,
because then I feel like it's really hard to find stuff. Because you're like, oh shoot, where did I put that? Like, where's that timeline? Obviously, you can use like the collections. But I feel like if you use the collections, you don't really know where it is. If you're a collections guy, which sounds like you are,
I'm a collections guy.
It's not a big deal. But for me,
keywords,
huge deal.
Yeah,
do not enjoy it.
Okay,
it's not bad. I'd give it a 4.
Yeah,
I think
right
it's
above. A 4. I think it's a 4.
Right above Final Cut, right below Premiere.
Final Cut is a 1.
It's a 1.
It's a 1. It doesn't. Okay, you can go into like Motion, Apple Motion. That's where I'm going to do collaboration as well, where it's like dynamic linking,
like talking to other programs.
Yes, like talking to other programs. So you can. I think you can go into like Apple Motion, trash program. Never use it. I'm going to say trash program. Links up with what's the Apple one? Is it Pro Tools or is it Logic or something? What's the Apple? Is it Logic? Logic Pro.
Yeah.
Logic Pro.
Yeah,
so I think you can. Yeah, you can like sync up with Logic Pro. So it's like kind of like a dynamic link. I've never done that, so I can't really speak to it.
Yeah.
Has anyone done it? That's maybe a problem.
Sound, you're not doing it in Final Cut, dude. You're not making, like, you're not Hans Zimmer in Final Cut, dude.
Yeah.
Even Sony Vegas has tracks. I'm just saying.
Collaboration, probably a 1. Premiere.
Premiere you have to pay for it.
You're paying out of your wallet
disgusting.
for it.
Yeah.
So, but it's great. It talks so nice to other programs. Well, to the other Premiere Adobe programs. And I like that a lot. You know, you have a Photoshop file inside of, I don't know if this works in Premiere, but it works in After Effects. You have a Photoshop file in After Effects. You hop into Photoshop.
Oh, you can
edit
do it in Premiere. Yeah.
Save it. Update it.
Or Illustrator file.
There you go.
After Effects file.
So pleasant.
I will say this. I feel like, so maybe you're not jumping in simultaneously into the same project.
Yeah.
But you copy the projects, you get different timelines going, you're using the same assets, and then you transfer over just the Premiere project file.
Can you just drag that sucker into the media pool?
I think, or you just open it and then it will simultaneously open both projects.
Oh yeah.
And then you can just drag stuff in. It makes your organization a little more nasty, but it's not like difficult. Like if you're not used to, like you can mix and match, copy and paste from one timeline, move to the other one, paste it in.
That's actually
which
really
is super nice.
I forgot about the opening multiple projects is actually kind of huge.
You can kind of do that in Davinci, but it's not nearly as like seamless as it feels in Premiere.
It's because you're doing XML workflow. Is that what you're talking about, or
you can open multiple projects in
Davinci.
You can.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's an option to do that.
Well, there you go.
Again, it doesn't feel as seamless as Premiere, where you can literally go in. You can have like 10 different projects open at the same time if you wanted to. I wouldn't recommend it, but you could.
So what are we giving it?
I give it a 3. I give it a 3 because you can't give it higher than Davinci because of Blackmagic Cloud.
Yeah,
Blackmagic Cloud's very nice.
The Project Cloud, very pleasant. Except we have our gripes with it. We have our
Yeah.
our problems with it, but
I feel like
other
there's
than
like
that-
server problems.
Yeah.
Which
Well, it's the remote workflow
it's
thing.
the remote workflow. If you were working on just
So-
like a hard drive by yourself, I don't know, but I still think it's really good.
Yeah. Well, and also if we're including collaboration in terms of like playing nice with other programs, it's got all the programs in it.
Yeah,
Whether
true.
we like them or not, we don't.
Yeah.
But it's got them in there.
It does have 'em in there.
So that's it. So what do you think? I think like 4.5.
I think 4.5 is
4.5.
very fair. I guess objectively, these are the totals.
What are the
like,
totals?
Biases aside,
We were really. I feel like we were pretty harsh.
This was
too.
great,
We were
yeah.
trying to be harsh.
this was very surprising. But again, it just goes to so let's tell you the totals.
okay. So
So coming up from the bottom is Final Cut Pro with a total of 49. So this is out of 90. So
It's
it's
a
a
54%.
54%. That's a failing grade.
it's a bad grade. That's a bad grade.
And then Premiere Pro, second place with 61 points out of 90. Number one, surprisingly,
Shocking.
very crazy, is
Shocking.
Davinci Resolve with 65.25. So the highest grade out of them all, which is wild because I feel like we went into this like extremely biased.
We were ready to dog on DaVinci, and need I remind you, we did. We did dog
We
on
did
DaVinci.
dog
there
on
are some
DaVinci.
gripes, brother.
There's a 0.5. It's the only one that has a 0.5 on this
Yeah.
whole list.
Yeah.
And that's
yeah.
a keyframe. The keyframe animation is just a really sore spot. If we were to recommend a editor in 2025 for you guys, it's hard not to say DaVinci. It's hard not to because it's free, it's cheap, and it has like a lot of those tools. And if you're starting out, would you rather learn After Effects or Fusion? I feel like if you learn Fusion, you'd be a god among men.
You'd be chilling.
You'd be chilling.
Yeah.
But if you want my help helping you edit, Premiere Pro.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Final Cut is really slept on.
It really is.
And it's because of the whole Final Cut 7 to Final Cut 9.
You also need
or
a
whatever it
Mac,
was.
so that's a
Also
big,
need a Mac,
big
yeah.
thing.
But there's a lot of people out there, a lot of YouTubers, brother, that are
Yeah.
editing in Final Cut, and their stuff looks nice. So
Yeah, I feel conflicted about the list
Yeah.
and about the outcome, but this is where the chips fell.
numbers don't lie, brother.
Numbers don't lie. I hate them all. They all have their problems.
They all
as you
are
can
not
see.
perfect.
Thanks for watching. I'm Jordan,
I'm Garrett.
and this is the Offline Media Podcast.